In this video, I'm going to be talking about stress. And I guess it's something that is so prevalent in society today. My name is Wendy Capewell, and I am so aware of the problems that stress can cause us all. A little bit of stress isn't bad, but we can't live in that total situation of being stressed all the time. It's very damaging to us, not only in the short term, but in the long term. And not only for our health, but in our lives and in our relationships. Today I'm going to talk about Anne. The first time Anne walked through the door, she was in a dreadful state. She was so wound up. And the first thing that I needed to do with her was to give her some relaxation and to get her to regulate her breathing so that she was in a reasonable state for us to continue working together on that occasion. Once she settled a little bit more, she was more able to explain what was causing her the problems. She was overworked. She didn't feel that she was achieving as she should. There were huge pressures in her job to hit deadlines and targets, and she was really struggling. She was working long hours. Although she would go home at a reasonable time to be with her children, once they had settled for the night, she was carrying on working, some evenings until midnight. And not only then, but she was also working at weekends too. This was having a huge impact on her family life and on her relationship with her partner. So something had to give. We looked at the reasons why she felt this way, why she felt that she had to keep working such long hours. Well, it wasn't just about working long hours. Some of it was compensation for the fact that she didn't feel that she was up to the job. She wanted promotion, and therefore she was really working very hard to prove that she could do the job, because she's acting in that position, but she hasn't been given the job officially. So she was trying to prove herself. But at home, she was also trying to compensate for the fact that she and her husband had parted. And she was trying to compensate for her children being left on their own with her, abandoned by their father. She had to do everything for them, so she felt. The end result was that she was completely worn out, exhausted, and just not coping, crying constantly. Once she recognized where these negative events had emanated from, where it had all started, and where she could realize that actually she doesn't have to compensate for her children. They need to be given boundaries. Just because she's a single mom doesn't mean that the children don't have to play their part. She doesn't have to do everything for them. And in her job, well, she needed to have a chat with her manager and talk about the fact that it was too much and that she and her team were really struggling. And the areas, because one of the things that had happened was her manager had given them a challenge and there was a reward at the end of it. Now, her team didn't win, even though over a period of time they had, they performed really well. So that led to her feelings of real lack of being able to cope. But once she had that conversation, she realized that she could take back her power. And she didn't have to kowtow and do everything that she felt her manager expected her to. She stopped working such long hours. She was taking time out for self-care. And now she's much calmer and able to deal with things in a better way. Family life and her professional life are much better. Of course, the stresses are there, but she's able to cope with them much more ably to cope with them in a calmer, happier way. This is what I help people with, is helping them identify where those negative beliefs come from, and the fact that we don't have to carry them around. They're other people's beliefs and their stuff, and we don't have to do it. Having life on our terms is much healthier. So get in touch if you think I can help you. Love to hear from you.